This is an astonishing find. 14 million-year-old tracks of giant ancient machines discovered in what is today's Turkey. In several countries, mysterious traces, which are supposedly 14 million years old, have been found. They resemble traces of ancient vehicles with wide tires, and if the theory is correct, then all previous conclusions of scientists about the appearance of wheels a few hundred years ago can be considered wrong. A new hypothesis is of great interest to researchers because of other traces similar to those left by ancient vehicles have already been found in Kazakhstan, Malta, France, Italy, and North America. A large number of traces were found in Turkish area of Cappadocia. As a result, some scientists are convinced that heavy machinery existed on Earth 12 to 14 million years ago. In addition, the researchers noticed slits that the side projections of the body may have been left. The creators of this machinery were people who inhabited our planet before the advent of modern man, Homo sapiens. In 2015, Dr. Alexander Koltypin, geologist and director of the National Science Research Center at Moscow's International Independent University of Ecology and Politology, claimed that enigmatic grooves like marks in the Pyrgian Valley of central Turkey are artificially made by all-terrain vehicles and not created by any natural process. And according to the mainstream scholars, the Pyrgian Valley is home to ancient tracks that have been dated to different historical eras. The oldest roads are believed to have been built during the Hittite Empire around 1600 BC to 1178 BC. Over time, the Pyrgians, the Greeks, and Alexander the Great's armies carved paths into the soft rock, and these paths later became part of the Roman road network, as noted by cultural routes in Turkey. Now, we have to note that the Pyrgians were a civilization that existed in ancient Turkey and became prominent in the 8th century BC. They had a well-functioning state, as evidenced by 260 inscriptions found throughout their kingdom in Anatolia. Their capital city of Gordium is located at the site of the modern city of Yesihuyuk, about 43 miles southwest of Ankara, which is the capital of Turkey. The ancient tracks, marks found in Pyrgian Valley, have puzzled archaeologists for a long time, with explanations ranging from Pyrgian carts to speculations about ancient alien vehicles. King Midas, described in Greek legends and Assyrian sources, is the most famous king of the Pyrgians. Midas, with the Midas touch, remember? He even touched his daughter, she turned into a statue of gold. So, according to these stories, after his defeat in the battle by the Cimmerians, he committed suicide by drinking bull's blood. Now, Dr. Koltypin and his team studied the rocky terrain with deep grooves and proposed that lightweight carts or chariots did not make those tracks, but instead heavy and huge unknown vehicles from an ancient civilization. He estimated that these tracks are around 14 million years old and posited that an unknown civilization created them. It was discovered that at the excavations of the ancient settlement of the Indians of the natives of the nation, at first there was a version that it was a tomb, but as the excavations progressed, scientists discovered that these were ancient baths. The structure was made of limestone, and it has been well preserved for several centuries. Now, all these rocky fields were covered with the ruts left some millions of years ago. We are not talking about human beings. The methodology of specifically specifying the age of volcanic rocks is very well studied and worked out, Koltypin said. Dr. Koltypin observed that the distance between each pair of tracks found in the area is consistent and matches the distance between wheels of modern vehicles. However, the tracks are too deep for any modern car, which raises questions about the type of transportation that might have been used. And these are pictures credited to Alexander Koltypin. He was the one that took these pictures. Now, the deepest ruts are 3 feet or 1 meter deep. On the walls of these ruts, there are horizontal scratches that appear to have been left by the ends of axles that were poking out of the ancient wheels. This suggests that the ancient wheels were wider than the ruts, which is characteristic of an all-terrain vehicle that would have been able to navigate through rough terrain. The fact that the tracks were so deep also implies that the vehicle was heavy and possibly used for transporting heavy loads. These observations raise more questions about the technology and capabilities of the civilizations that created these tracks, and further research is needed to understand their origins. Dr. Koltypin argued that the weight of the large prehistoric vehicles created the deep channels found in the soil and rock. He also noted that later the ruts and surrounding area petrified, preserved in the evidence. The phenomenon is known to geologists as similar preservation is observed in the footprints of dinosaurs, and even huge human footprints, as we have been shown by pictures of Michael Tellinger from South Africa. Now, he acknowledged that his theories are controversial and is aware that mainstream academia may not want to address the subject matter, as it could potentially change or ruin their established historic theories. He says, I think we're seeing the signs of the civilization which existed before the classic creation of this world. Maybe the creatures of that pre-civilization were not like modern human beings, he proposed. Other locations around the world, such as the Maltese archipelago, have similar mysterious tracks that continue to perplex researchers. Some of the strange tracks in Mishra Gar il Kibr are particularly intriguing, as they appear to lead off cliffs or continue into the ocean. The origins and purpose of these tracks remain unknown. And this is on Hows and Whys by Vicky Verma. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.